Hey, you might hear your message on the podcast, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. No, we're not going to get back to them. Are we going to get back to them?
This is the worst outgoing message I've ever heard. This is, I think, the worst outgoing message in
You
the history of the
know,
world.
when you tell me to do something like this, it gets me very nervous.
I forgot Sona's personal little quirk is that if you give her a task, she's terrible!
Thank you for calling.
Okay, hey President-elect Liza O'Brien, and hey President-elect Conan, and hey everybody on the podcast here. This is Vice President-elect Michael Leslie Skeleton of the Superhero Supervillain Party. It's so funny because I called Gretchen. Whenever I called her, I introduced myself like a bunch of different ways, in superhero ways, introducing myself to her. And she called me a fucking terrorist for that. And they can't do that. They raped me. You know what I mean? And I feel really uncomfortable that they have access to all of this rape footage of Epstein, and they're like doing all of this like really weird premeditated violence, you know, against white people, you know what I mean? And then acting like they're not, and, you know, then all of these, you know, KKK members are over here in this party, and I'm like, well, you know, they're trying to kind of force like a whiteness, you know, morality alignment with people that we don't even identify with, and are abusing us racially in a racist scheme of abusing us racially continually with segregation, by trying to make segregation about the morality and the skin color, about the morality of people. And this entire situation has been going on for years. Does that make sense? And they're trying to say that it hasn't, but it's kind of like, it's just, I memean, this started with girls just bullying one another because they didn't want their husbands to flirt with, you know, white girls or black girls. Does that make sense? Or brown girls. They would just be bullying them just about their appearance, and that's where racism came from, was just girls bullying one another. It was never meant to have spiraled out into all of this. Does that make sense? And like, this is why we always try to say that like words matter and everything. I feel really frustrated because I know that these women are trying to sell me into rape, murder, and rape slavery, and they're trying to violently have me raped and murdered, and have raped me multiple times, and then just showed up on my doorstep after raping me and withholding evidence and called me a terrorist. Not even to my face, said it to my husband. And I said, so you know who I am, so you have, you know, so you know who I am, so you know I'm running for vice president, so you know you're not allowed to be at my residence saying these things about me and slandering me to my residents. I mean, my exact words were, you know who I am, you know I'm running for vice president, you know I'm charging you with rape, you know I have a rape case against you, you know that this is a rape investigation, and you know that you're not allowed to be at my residence. And then he screamed at me that I'm not allowed to call the governor anymore. And Conan, I just called Alexandria, and I really debated not doing it all day, but I actually care about these kids, and I told her to her face, I said, I don't trust you with this rape evidence because you raped me. But we need the rape evidence because otherwise all these people are going to keep dying, which would be your fault and your responsibility because you don't want to put me on the news. And I told her, like, you know, to her face, point blank, I said, you know, this is a school shooting issue. And they discussed school shootings and trade and gun lobbying issues on this. So they had the girls in. They discussed business around the girls. The business surrounding the girls and everything was prostitution, rape, murder. And about how they were going to rape and murder them, and then their means of raping and murdering and producing more rape, slavery, and then how to pull business people in. So they pulled in numerous business people with promises of sex with young women, and the anonymity to have sex with young women down here in the Virgin Islands, and then buried a bunch of bodies and shit all the way around the Virgin Islands, all on the property that they're hiding from all y'all. And well, I'm psychic, so that's how I know. So I'm also a hyper genius, which I'll explain some other things in just a second that isn't about rape and murder, so maybe we can just like kind of have a moment just to kind of be like, well, we're going to get past this. Does that make sense? I'll make everybody feel safe, but also a giant robot crushing a motherfucker making you feel safe is so fucking extreme in this situation, is it not? Like, okay, so... But, okay, so, okay, and this is why I'm like, they can't have my Gundam tech. They'll just go fucking step on a school or some shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no fucking way I'm letting any Chinese motherfucker Godzilla their way through the United States. Like, I make Godzilla, actually. There's actually a really big sea monster in the ocean, okay? A really big sea monster in the ocean. And I do like a hula dance, and then the sea monster comes up and talks to me and shit. You guys, like, you've been playing this level on, like, stupid. you guys been playing on rapist. And so we're just going to take rapist mode off, and then you're going to be like, whoa, it's a whole new game. Like, whenever you, like, hack the side of the thing, and then you go and fall out, and then you go God mode. Oh my god, that's such a funny joke. That's a creeping joke. That creeped on me for a long time. Because I used to like just to play for the story. So sometimes I would just go God mode. And then you would just like get all the character levels and stuff. And that's kind of what we're doing as humanity right now. And people just don't want to take it seriously, and because they're so afraid. Does that make sense? To like believe in the coolness of God, right? Because we've only been taught, you know, that people will rape and murder us if we believe in anything, and if we display any kind of magical powers or intelligence, and they'll have us raped and murdered, you know what I mean? And it's violently horrific for these people to be going through, and we gotta change it. But so I know for a fact that they have these girls in for business. The girls facilitate the business. The girls, you know, loosen the lips of the people, you know, loosen the bank accounts or whatever. Everybody trades around loads of money while they're down here because they bet on things. So if you look into the money of what they were betting down here, and then the, you know, whatever else was going on, video games, sports events, if they were getting at sports events around the Super Bowl, who was around them at the Super Bowl, what Super Bowl events were they at, what basketball events were they at, baseball, what sports are popular in other countries, what holidays are popular in other countries where they would be trading with people with South Korea based on a holiday, gifts that they would be offering to these people on holidays, on birthdays. So definitely on birthdays where they would be raping and murdering girls and things like that for fun and just going real crazy. Around all these dates, and then around all those dates correspond to see where they correspond to school shootings. And then also, you know, meetings where they had, see how far away they correspond to school shootings. And then gather all of the intel on all of the guns and all of the school shootings and what companies that they're related to. And then relate that back to Trump and the business dealings of Trump over here, who facilitated all those business dealings, and then see where Trump invested into guns, or what dummy companies or what dummy people in his party could have been the patsy to investigate or to invest in the guns, and then to be the liaison and the lobbyist for the guns. So being a gun lobbyist is illegal. We switch over those jobs to gaming equipment. I mean, I don't really know if a gun lobbyist is going to keep like their job or even their life. Does that make sense? So it's like you can't even legally be a gun lobbyist, because it means that you're just like advocating for murder of people, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, we just go, okay, yeah, we can have the guns, big deal. Does that make sense? So why are you lobbying for guns? Like, what the fuck does that mean? Does that make sense? Like, nobody out here is trying to take all the guns away. And like, does that make sense? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how's your job even make sense? And then all those people getting murdered, Conan. President-elect Conan, so they're going to murder all those gun lobbyists and all those big pharma people, because they just thought that they were selling money and shit, and that they were just selling this and that or whatever. And they were just doing all of this shit. And they are not. They were participating in a giant rape group of people, right? So then you correspond all that to church events, and then you correspond that to church violence, and then you correspond that to little black girls going missing, and then Jewish girls going missing, and little white girls going missing, and then Native girls going missing, and Latina girls going missing. And so, and and then correspond that to everybody who's been going missing, and then you go, this you, this you, this you, this you, this you. Do you see what I'm saying? And you're just trying to, like, figure out where all the little girls are going missing at. Because I've got stickers on my phone, and the stickers on my phone are nothing but little dead girls. Because, like, you go boop copy, and then you make a sticker of them. And I just, earlier, was just, before the cops got here, that's what I was sitting here doing. I was sitting here making stickers of little dead girls of whose murders I'm investigating. And I was just, like, fucking depressed. You know what I mean? Because I'm just sitting here making stickers of all these little dead kids whose murders I need to solve, who I can't get in here and solve because I'm not allowed to have my badge and gun. But that motherfucker can lie and call me a fucking terrorist because I told them if they don't give me that fucking rape investigation, if they don't give me the fucking rape investigation footage of them raping me, then they need to be fired and step down, and that could legally result in an execution. And because they want to try to make me kill myself violently and have been violently torturing me for years. And she's just saying that she's not. She was just waiting, Conan, like Rashida, was just waiting to call the fucking police on me as the Jewish Messiah because she's racist. And she got all of her own people killed. And I've said this multiple fucking times, that she didn't put me on the news to facilitate a peace agreement. And I very easily could have. And also I could have very efficiently executed all those terrorists, every single one of them. And I was denied quite a bit in this situation and then gang raped and murdered. And all of this training that I was supposed to be doing, I've been having to do myself, investigating my own rape because these people repeatedly have me raped. Conan, when they gang raped me, I said, call Rashida. And she called the fucking police on me fucking last night and called me a terrorist. And I have to execute 10 million, 20 million domestic pedophiles and terrorists. Do you want that to be in Rashida's hands? Or in Alexandria's, who have demonstrated that they hate white women and will have them gang raped? No, you do not. You do not want that in their hands. They will fucking rape and murder people with no bipartisan ability. Conan, they couldn't even call me back in a fucking investigation of the cops gang raping me and get me the footage of me being gang raped because they didn't want me to be a white civil rights leader and have repeatedly tried to assassinate me with negligence. And now they just want my companies and they're looking for any excuse, and they knew that I was going to get upset because who the fuck wouldn't get upset about being gang raped and then them withholding the information and then putting me repeatedly in a mental institution and slandering me from jobs. They slandered me from Harley Davidson and called me a fucking terrorist to Harley Davidson. Okay, so why did Mike Duggan tell them not to hire me? Okay, so why is Gretchen telling them not to hire me? Okay, so why did you let them take all these people off of the streets? Okay, so why didn't you get me the rape evidence of them having gang raped me down here multiple times with this terrorist group, the Phelps, that hold up terrorism signs? Okay, so you're refusing to nominate me because you gang raped me, and I told you, hey, don't gang rape me. I think I'm the vice president. I don't think that you should do that. And she goes, no can do, pal. And then lets them gang rape me after they drugged me violently, and then let them, after I get up off of the table of being murdered because she can't turn it into a big thing of me being an OnlyFans author who she just got a message from in the middle of the night, and then now she's got all this information about the Phelps and Epstein and all of this stuff, all this whatever. And I had to figure all that out today and figure out that NBC is connected down here to the Phelps. You know what I mean? It's like they were just desperate. I don't know what else to say about these women, is that they just seem desperate. You know what I mean? And I mean, walking up to me and calling me a terrorist whenever you gang raped me with a terrorist group that holds up 9/11 signs is like desperate. And then having a man like having two men prowling in the hallway, angry that they can't just shoot me on the fucking spot and rape and murder me on the fucking spot. And so they want to send a SWAT team out here to have me gang raped and murdered for no fucking reason, and murder me for no fucking reason. And I've been fighting for my life all fucking day because Alexandria wouldn't do her job 3 years ago to prevent them from raping me at all. And that's highly suspicious that she let a terrorist group even in as custodians of footage to sell rape footage of all of these people down here. And then she thinks that she's going to get in my face and scream at me and call me a whore because she repeatedly has gang raped me and drugged me and gang raped me and poisoned me and put me in critical condition after the first fucking rape and poisoning. how comfortable do you feel leaving your house today? He's like, not at all. And I didn't even know what's going on your end, but I know there's this whole storm going on that I'm not being told to be a part of, because a woman who says that she's president-elect, just says it, I guess, is fucking trying to plot to rape and murder and assassinate me. And I'm like, nothing about this has any kind of lawful process, because you were supposed to have stopped them from raping me before they raped me. You know what I mean? Like, I can't even imagine a world where you're trying to take me in and charge me with terrorism because you gang raped me with a fucking terrorist group. And I've repeatedly had to like reach out and be like, hey, you have to give me this rape evidence. You can't just delete it and destroy it. And they're just waiting until it's deleted and destroyed, and then they're going to have me raped and murdered. And then have more rape evidence, but now I'm dead. And it's a giant fucking freak out, because I've been contacting the news for 3 years saying, hey, all this stuff's about to happen. Hey, did you guys know that all this stuff's about to happen? Hey, did you guys know they have black masks and vans? And then they have black masks and vans. I feel like we just go round and round and round about all this all day long, and we can't even talk about technology, because this piece of shit is out here, and we can't even get past this rape investigation, and we can't even get past the Epstein tapes, and I need to be able to make this technology to protect us from an invasion. And I can't even talk about it because you guys keep targeting me with rape and murder and poverty. I made promises to this community that I intend to keep. There's no way to keep world stability without it, Conan. President-elect Conan, there's no fucking way. There's absolutely no fucking way, President-elect Plaza and President-elect Sharon and President-elect Sharon and Supreme Court Justice Sharon. What the fuck? I got a school to build. I got kids I gotta save. I had a girl over here tell me that she had a baby at 10 years old. And, you know, now she's 13 and she's got a baby. And, you know, she's living with her mom, and her mama and the baby and the girl all live together. And I'm like, well, we need them for the X-Men school. Does that make sense? And we need to have conversations with little kids about these kinds of things. Does that make sense? And, you know, and get these families support. And she's in here doing an Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and I can't even do an Ask Me Anything on Reddit. So I mean, congratulations, kid. You know, like you got past all those scary bots middle night. So I don't know. I want the best for this kid. Does that make sense? And so you know, I mean, kids like that, you know, want to go and battle in Australia. You know what I mean? And do like Pokemon starfish battles and stuff like that, and you know, have water Pokemon, and I make water Pokemon for kids. And you know, so like my hologram, number 6, 7 of 9, Cortana, is she's a part of like my blood, you know what I mean, and she's a part of my light processing center, so she is me, you know what I mean. And Escaflowne is like so much more than that, you know what I mean. She's like I don't really know how to describe her, you know what I mean. And they want to murder me for being a weapon because they can't rape slave people anymore. And for the love of God, most people should just be happy that I'm here, you know what I mean. Like it's very rare that, you know, a vice president is ever going to step up and be like, okay, well, we're going to just make sure that we're going to handle all these problems. We ain't going to have homelessness no more. We ain't going to hurt people no more. I mean, what a sinister and evil person to go, I don't see any homeless. There's nobody's homeless. Nobody's homeless at all. I don't see anybody. There's none. I was like, the fuck? And that lady just lied to that woman's fucking face and stuff. It was fucking bizarre. I was like, man, because I was like, we can take you out into the street and we can show you count 6, 7, 8, 9 fucking homeless people out here. And so you just like straight up lying to our face because you murdered somebody in college was fucking bizarre. Because you knew right then that you was just looking at a murderer, you know. And it was just weird, and that they all just sitting around like that, you know. Like they all just like that lady, like that weird fucking rapist lady. And you really ain't know what to do, you know. And I'm developing really powerful technology here, Conan. And, you know, we're basically kind of asking. I mean, not kind of, we are asking if we can even go to these